యాక్టివ్ మోడ్లో పెట్టండి. గూగుల్ మీట్ మీద క్లిక్ చేయండి.
ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి నేను గూగుల్ మీట్ నేను ఆల్రెడీ కనెక్ట్ అయ్యాను.
కనెక్ట్ అవుతే కాదు మేడం, కానీ ట్యాబ్ యాక్టివ్గా ఉండాలంటే ముందు అదే ఉండాలి స్క్రీన్ మీద.
ఓకే, స్క్రీన్ మీద ఇది ఉండాలా? ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు స్క్రీన్ పెట్టాను అది.
ఒకసారి మీరు మళ్ళీ ఓబిఎస్ క్లిక్ చేయండి, ఓబిఎస్లో కనబడాలి.
ఓబిఎస్లో కనిపించాలి. ఓబిఎస్లో కనిపిస్తుంది.
మళ్ళీ జస్ట్ గూగుల్ మీట్ మీద క్లిక్ చేయండి.
గూగుల్ మీట్ మీద క్లిక్ చేశాను. ఇక్కడ స్టూడియోలో వచ్చింది, ఇది యూట్యూబ్లో స్ట్రీమ్ అవుతుంది.
యూట్యూబ్ మళ్ళీ క్లిక్ చేయండి.
లేదు, వేరే పక్క ల్యాప్టాప్లో పెట్టాను. సరిపోతుంది అంతే కదా. ఇక్కడ నేను ఓబిఎస్ మీరు ఏమైనా తెలుసుకున్నారు సార్, ఇది ఎట్లా చేయాలని? మనం మాట్లాడేది వినిపించకుండా మ్యూట్. ఓకే, సరే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ. హలో హలో, యూ కెన్ స్టార్ట్ ద సెషన్. హలో,
yes ma'am, ఒక 1 minute లో we will start the session.
మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేసుకోండి, నేను సెట్ చేశాను, మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేసుకోండి. ఇంకా మీకు నెంబర్ జాయిన్ అయ్యాక స్టార్ట్ చేసుకోండి. ఇట్ ఈస్ స్ట్రీమింగ్ ఇస్ స్టార్టెడ్.
ఒక 1 minute లో స్టార్ట్ చేసేస్తాం సెషన్ ఇప్పుడు.
ఫైన్.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్.
హలో హలో
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, do we have enough people to start the class? Okay. I need responses, guys.
Let's start, sir.
Sure. Okay, perfect. So today, guys, we have a guest lecture by one of my friend who is a cinematographer. He will be teaching you a basis about how to capture street photography and different aspects of street photography. He is already on the call. He will now be turning on his video, and if you guys can see him, he is one of my friend called AJ Aaron, and he is a leading cinematographer in Hyderabad.
Hello everybody. I'm very glad to be here. Can you guys hear me? If you can
Yes,
hear me,
sir.
just
Yes, sir, very audible.
just send in some responses in the chat if you guys can hear me. Also, just to mention,
You guys can unmute and talk as well. It's not an issue.
yeah.
You are audible, sir.
That's great. Also, I've never done an online session before, so this format is kind of new for me. So please bear with me if I try to figure out what is going on. Okay, so anyway, before I start, I want to understand what have you guys learned in the past 2 days, the past 2 sessions. Just type in your responses. What topics have you covered in the last 2 to 3 sessions that you had? Shutter speed, triangle law, types of lighting on photography, types of lenses, aperture, types of photos, types of cameras. Okay. Shutter speed, triangle law, types of lighting on photography, types of lenses, depth of field. Okay. Types of photos. Okay, so mostly from what I can see here, it's mostly technical, isn't it? Mostly technical part of it, of using a camera or like of an image. Yeah, yeah, okay. So today is going to be slightly different. We'll not discuss anything technical, but we'll dive deeper into the creative aspects of it. We'll discuss more about the image making process and the meaning behind the image and these kind of creative aspects, not very technical. Is that good for you guys? Yeah. All right. So today my session is going to be about. Okay, first I'll introduce myself. I am a cinematographer from FTI. I passed out from FTI, which is Film and Television Institute of India. And right now I am a cinematographer. I'm a working cinematographer in Bombay and also Hyderabad. I do like ads and films and everything. So let me just start off with playing a video of what I do of a recent project so that you guys can understand what exactly I do.
అక్కడ నేను కూర్చొని కొంచెం స్టేట్మెంట్ కొట్టాను కూర్చొని అలా స్టేట్మెంట్ కొట్టాను.
So you just trying to figure out.
అక్కడ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు ఒకసారి ముందుగా స్టార్ట్ అవుతాం నేను కాసేపు ఇక్కడ కొట్టలేదు.
Can you guys see the screen? It says Showreel 2019. Yeah, okay.
ఎక్కడ కొట్టాలి అడ్మిట్ ఎస్ అని వస్తున్నాయి కదా అవే వస్తున్నాయి క్లోజ్
ఇక్కడ రిక్వెస్ట్ వస్తాయా ఇక్కడ రిక్వెస్ట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు అడ్మిట్ అని అడిగితే అప్పుడు అడ్మిట్ కొట్టండి అంతే.
Vijay, I think you should turn on the audio for the presentation for them to listen the song.
Okay, sorry, I'll do that.
Yeah, exactly, guys. Just give him a moment. He'll figure things out and.
అడ్మిట్ అనేవి అడగట్లేదు
అంటే జాయిన్ అయిపోయారు అడిగితే కొత్త వాళ్ళు వస్తేనే అడుగుతారు.
ఇక్కడ పేర్లు చూపిస్తుంది మోనిషా అని.
How do I turn on audio for this?
Okay, even I don't know that.
Okay, found it.
Yeah.
Looks like. Okay, let me just play it without the audio. That should work. Does that work, Namta?
Yeah, it should work, but then it's okay. We'll try figuring out the audio part later.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Can you see this?
It's not a movie scene, Aryan. It's one of the film that AJ has shot recently. So
There wasn't audio in it, right?
yeah, there wasn't any audio on that. Just give me a moment. Let me figure out how to do the audio part.
No audio. Okay.
Okay. You have to come back to the Google Meet and I'll show you where it is. So just check your WhatsApp and you'll be able to figure it out.
Okay. I'll do that. Can you hear audio now?
No, I don't think the audio part is working.
Oh God. I don't even have a. Okay, fine. Let's just do it without the audio. It's fine.
అది నేను దాంట్లో నేను వేరే లింక్ క్రియేట్ చేశాను వస్తుంది అందుకని అది లాగ్ అవుట్ అవుతుంది నాకు ఇది చూపిస్తారు సరే రిజల్ట్స్ తర్వాత చూద్దాం నేను అది ప్లాట్ చేసి పెట్టాను ఇంకా కానీ 3:15కి అక్కడ సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి అక్కడ స్టార్ట్ చేసి వచ్చేస్తాయి
I'm very sorry for having no audio there. Okay. So, all right. So, coming to today's agenda, we'll be talking about. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, AJ, also please make sure you keep responding to the chats because some of them are asking some questions, I guess. Harsha wants to know which movie it was and.
Okay, so the recent one that I just put up is it's an ad for a handloom company. And the first one that I've showed you guys is It's from a short film that I did. It's actually my FTI graduation film. I just put some shots together and made it my show reel. So that was it. I've seen that video in Instagram. Okay. Yeah. I'm very sorry for I'm very sorry for having no audio in there. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, coming to today's agenda, we'll be talking about street photography. And I'm very sure most of you have, like, not everybody has an access to like a DSLR or a camera or anything. So like majority of us shoot on phones, right? And I'm going to be like completely out of the technical aspect. We'll just concentrate on this today. So I want to understand from you guys, what do you guys think is street photography? What do you think is street photography? What comes to your mind when I say street photography?
in that angle, 258. 0.6. 217.
Such street, not food. Photographing people and events on the street. Okay.
0.8 to 177.
Yeah.
0.9 to 146.
Photographing people and events on the street, photograph of street light, day-to-day life photography, capturing photos on the street, easy go ones. Yeah.
278.
Lifestyle photography type. Okay.
360.
Right. So let's talk about what makes a street photograph interesting. And I'm pretty sure that Namrat and Daniel have spoken to you guys about how to make, what are the visual elements that make an image interesting. They did, right? Can I understand what are some elements that make an image interesting?
Z is equal to 5 is equal to 9.
That's right, composition.
5 is equal to 0, 5 is equal to 90 axis plot చేశాను. అంటే ఇట్లా 90 పెట్టినా 180 పెట్టినా సేమే కదా. అట్లా 90 కానీ 270 కానీ సేమే, 0 కానీ 180 కానీ సేమే.
Effects, okay.
590. ఇదేమో 590.
Right, exactly. Light is very important in street photography. Angle, yeah. Colors, right. Okay. Okay. So somebody had said colors, but I think in street photography, if you see a lot of if you see like photographs of some very famous street photographers, they all are in black and white. And that is because on the street you can't really control the color, right? So it is what it is. So that's why I think most of them who do street photography prefer black and white. Right, composition correct, light correct. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll take you through some photographs that I have shot, some street photographs that I have shot, and we'll discuss why that image is interesting. Okay, does that sound good? Today is mostly going to be analysis of images, like what makes an image interesting, or, you know? Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's start with that.
అది 64. ఇదేమో గేట్ -2.5 నుంచి అరౌండ్ 9 వరకు వచ్చింది. లెస్ దెన్ 3D ప్లాట్స్ చూస్తాను. మళ్ళీ పాయింట్ ఇదేమో 0 డిగ్రీస్.
Can you guys see the image?
ఇదేమో 590.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
So this
sir.
is an image I took in 2016. Okay, it's like 4 years old. I want you to talk about the image. What do you think what do you think the elements are that make it interesting? No, this is not in Kashi. This is in East Godavari district. Devotion. No, I want to talk. I want you guys to talk about the visual elements that make it interesting. First, let's start with the visual elements, like the 12 visual elements or whatever that you guys are talking about. Shading effects. Everyone is in a different position, right? That is a good. That is a good point. Intensity of the water. Okay, waves, rule of thirds, color. Okay, represent the water. Culture. Right. Yeah. So if you would ask me about this image, stages of, oh, that is damn interesting what you said, stages of life. Amount of the body in water is increasing. Yes, that's a good point. Devotion of the people, light balance, people and culture, life cycle. Yes, life cycle. Life cycle. That's very interesting. Aviroop. Okay, so I'll start off with the visual elements that I personally think, again, all these are personal opinions. An image has no like fixed rules or meanings to it. Art needs to be interpreted, and everybody understands it in a different way. So this is how I perceive this image. Okay, firstly, I think it is interesting because I think there's layers to the image, right? There's one in the foreground. There's one in the background, there's one in the middle and in the midground, and there's like unending water in the background. So I think what I look for in a street image is the layers. I mean, it's subjective, but I look for like the layers of like the foreground, midground, and the background. Also, what I think is interesting here is the action. Like you feel that the image is in motion, right? Like though it's a still image, you can still feel the motion in the image because the water, the ripples, like you guys said, the ripples, and and how these guys are in action and how they're placed in the photograph, and how the person in the foreground is out of the water, in the midground is slightly submerged, the other guy he's submerged till the chest, and the other guy is fully submerged. These and also the composition, how it's composed. I think all these elements to me make this an interesting image, and this is one of my favorite images that I shot. If you guys have anything more to discuss about this, please type it in. What is the definition of the picture? What do you mean by definition of the picture? Clarity. I think it's like 3000 by 4000 pixels. The standard 24 megapixel camera. I use a Sony A6500 for my still images. It's a 3000 by 4000 pixel camera. Like the images are 3000 by 4000 standard. Now let's move to this. What do you think? Why do you think? What makes this image interesting? Depth, that's a good one. Difference in size, yes, that's a good one. Angle, architecture, the tilt.
అయితే మనం ఫస్ట్ వీడియో తీసుకుందామా? సరే ఫస్ట్ ఈక్వల్ ఓకే ఈక్వల్ అంటే 5 is equal to 0 degrees. ఈటా వేరీ అవుతుంది. ఈటా వేరీస్ -1 +1
Yeah. Symmetry, depth, grandness, sense of divinity, wonder, splendor, yes. Pleasant, admiration, symmetry, sky. I think you guys are doing really good, man.
అని చూపించండి. ఇది నేను క్లోజ్ చేసేస్తాను.
That's very interesting, huh? The lighting in the sky changes, the gradation of the sky. That's a good observation. Amrita, yeah, it's a good observation.
ఇప్పుడు నేను
Why do you think the sky is graded like that? Why do you think one side of the sky is bright and the other side is dark?
AD underscore establishment.
Right, correct. The sun, the angle of the sun, right? You can also see the shadow. You can see a shadow,
Yes, definitely.
like where the sun is. Yeah. Correct.
ఒక దానికి సెట్ చేసుకున్నా ఉంటే మిగతా నేను ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ మాత్రమే తీసుకుంటాను.
Let's look at this image now. In this image, like everybody knows that it's like a rule of third composed image. But I want you to talk about how the image feels. Like when you look at the image, what do you feel? What emotion do you feel? What does it make you feel? Peace, rain. Somebody is asked, is that Vizag? Yeah, this is close to Vizag. It's not Vizag, it's like 100 kilometers away from Vizag. Rural culture, struggle, village lifestyle, motion, thirsty, hard work, calm, race. See, one image, just one image can make different people feel different ways, right? So, a photograph or a painting, in my personal opinion, I believe that it has to make the viewer feel something. I mean, to me at least, I think that is my ultimate goal of taking a photograph, right? It has to make someone feel something. And if 100 different people feel 100 different ways, I'm more than happy. Art is supposed to be that way, right? Because it depends on the viewer's state of mind and their experiences in life and what they are going through, what they've been through. All these things put together make you feel a certain way about art. And I think that's the beauty of art or painting, photography in general. I think that's why I do. Photography is not my. It's not a profession. Cinematography is my profession, but photography is like a really close thing to me. And I think this is the reason that I do photography. It has to make someone feel something. And that's very good interpretations here in the comments. Struggle, weather, cloud and hills, greenery. Foreground is bright, background is dark. Sense of grandeur, negative space, Negative space behind the person automatically lets us through the actual sub. This is good. This is good. Yeah, somebody spoke about negative space. That's a good point. That's a good one. Now let's go to another image. In this image, let's talk about composition. What do you guys think about the composition? And I'm telling you once again, there is no right or wrong or anything. There's no fixed rules to an image. It's just what you feel about it, how it makes you feel. This is an image I shot in 2017. It's a village called Peddapittagadda and it's in Andhra Pradesh. Friendship, green and brown. Oh yeah, somebody spoke about green and brown. That's a good observation. They are complementing colors. Layers, right? Layers. Rule of odds, yes. Your smile, innocence is shown, yes. Happiness, childhood, heartful. Childhood happiness, yes. Color tones, gloomy, kids, joy. Happy kids, means at home. Even more differently, innocent smiles, playful kids, dancing camera. Yes. And just a fun fact, I did not ask them to pose or I did not place them according to my camera or anyway. I just said, I'm taking a picture of you. And they stood for me. And I didn't ask them to move to compose my frame. I composed my frame depending on how they're placed. And I just shot this image. Joy and poverty, rule of thirds. Yeah, rule of thirds, definitely. Rule of odds also, definitely. 5 people in frame. Do you guys know about the rule of odds? Was it being spoken about in the last 2 days?
Zero.
Oh, someone said no. Rule of odds, no. Okay, so basically, rule of odds is literally the rule of odds. Okay, like 1, 3, 5, and 7. Right? These are odd numbers, right? So it is said that visually, when there are 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on, so odd number of people in frame, it automatically has more visual aesthetics to it than like 2. Let's say there's 2 people in a frame versus 3 people in a frame. It is believed that when there's 3 people in a frame, it's more visually pleasing and visually aesthetic. So basically, that's a rule of odds. So like, always try to have 1, 3, 5 people in frame to make it more interesting. It's not. There's no rule. There's no rule about it. But this is just more. Yeah. Why do you think this image is interesting? The image right now. Why do you think it is interesting? Angle. Yeah. Right. Someone said nature and mankind together. Yes. Down to earth. Someone said it shows humans are developed animals, so it shows equality. Yes, that's very interesting. That's a very interesting interpretation. Children play anyone who love them, right? Disregard for safety of the kid. Which is so appealing. Thank you. Dog looking into camera. Right, the stare of the dog. So I love it. I love how the dog's looking into camera. I love both of them are looking into camera. I love it. Right? Yeah. Position of dog and facing it towards camera makes awesome. Yes. Looks like everybody loves this dog.
ఫేస్ సెంటర్ సెట్ ఇచ్చాం కదా అక్కడ.
Vamshi has asked me, are these enhanced in Photoshop? So I usually edit my images on Lightroom. So I just did some basic color correction, nothing a lot. It's some very basic color correction right here. If you guys have any questions, also just put it in the chat. I'll answer questions simultaneously. Dog mouse pose. Yeah.
మనం అక్కడ మాడ్లర్కి వెళ్ళాము
Harsha, this place is also the same place. It's near Vizag.
అంటే వీడు ఇట్లా మార్చుకొని ఉన్నాడు కదా.
Can you tell me what rule of composition I used here?
అది ఇట్లా మార్చింది.
What rule of composition have I used here?
మనము అక్కడ ఇది తీసేసాం, అవి క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్స్ తీసేసాం.
What rule of composition? Yeah, rule of thirds, right? And why do you think he's on the right side of the frame and not the left? What do you think would have been different if he was on the left side? You can unmute your mic and talk to me if you want to answer this. My question is, why do you guys think that I placed him on the right side of the frame and not the left? And what do you think would have been different if he was on the left side of the frame?
The shadow.
Okay. Any more answers? You can unmute and talk.
If we take it from left
Tool
side,
would not have been visible.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, what?
His tool would not have been visible.
His tool, right. Yeah, that's fair. But if you see his tool, the way he's holding it, it leads you to a corner of a frame, right? But if the same image, if it was placed this side, the angle of the tool wouldn't have made a really good composition here. It's purely because of how he held the tool in his hand is what made me compose him this way. And someone mentioned that's very close. That's right. It's very close. Okay, now let's discuss this image. Why do you think I underexposed the photograph so much? Why do you think there's so much darkness in the image? This is a technical question, I must say. Yeah, that's correct. If I opened up my shutter or opened up my aperture a little bit more, I would have missed the outside details. The outside would have been like blown out. It would have been like white. So here I had to show what's outside. So I had to make the choice of underexposing it. That's right. Pretty correct answers here in the comments. Good job. Yeah, if we properly expose subject and do yes, correct. So that is why I have to take this choice here. So in street photography, you have to like really make quick decisions. You have to be like very super spontaneous. The main motive is to get the image, get the feel of the image. Now let's talk about the images that I've showed you now are like aesthetic, beautiful looking images, right? Now let's talk about not so aesthetic, but still interesting images, interesting street images. Let me start with this. I want you guys to talk about it. Do you think, firstly, do you think this is interesting? If you think it is, then why do you think it's interesting? Illusion, rail lines into his ear. Yeah. So the text says, blow your trumpet here. Yeah, correct. That's right. Yeah. So the text says, blow your trumpet here, and it's going right into his ears. And I think that's what makes it's not an aesthetic, beautiful looking image, but it's an interesting image, right? It makes you think. It gives you a sense of. It gives you like a little smile on your face, right? So this is that kind of an image. Yeah, very interesting answers here in the comments. Man's head blur looks like the sound of a trumpet might make. Yeah, and Anthony, that's a good one. Advertisement for advertisements looks 3D. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Do you think it is interesting? Why do you think it is interesting?
Select values.
No. Okay, let me tell you first. It's not blood. It is pan that these guys spit, and it's just the dog is just resting. It's just having a good sleep. Yeah. So basically, street photography is about finding different elements on the street, and juxtaposing them or putting them together, making a meaning out of the elements on the street. I think that is what street photography is. Finding contrasts or finding similarities, or finding visual balances. Let me show you this now. Let's talk about this. It's not an aesthetic, it's not a beautiful image, but why do you think it's still interesting? And all these are shot on my phone, by the way.
Yes, another. Yes, another.
Delhi Metro, yes, this is Delhi Metro. Someone said the priest is going against the crowd. Yes, that's damn right. Yeah. Correct. Staircase was just escalator. Right. So here you can see a bunch of modernly dressed, like generally normally dressed people taking the elevator. But just right next to him, you see a man in like some spiritual outfit taking the stairs downwards. So it's like there's a lot of different interpretations. going against the crowd is one good one that you said. Traditional, modern, yes.
అది కొంచెం బయట పెడతాను.
People, modern people going to laziness. Yeah.
లేకపోతే కాస్ట్ ఫంక్షన్ మినిమైజ్
Yeah. So there's a lot of different interpretations, right? So the main goal of street photography is to make people think, is to make people have their own interpretation about it. Like if I just clicked a picture of some dog going on the street, it wouldn't make any meaning, right? It's just a dog going on the street. But when you say take the same dog and mix it with other elements on the street. For example, if there's a dog and there's a scooty, then it makes a meaning, right? If it's just a scooty, it makes no meaning. If it's just a dog, it makes no meaning. But when you put them together and compose them and frame them properly, some meaning comes out of it. And that must be the goal of street photography, is to make meaning from the elements on the street. It can be your own meaning, it can be interpreted meaning, but the goal is to make, these kind of sometimes funny, sometimes humorous, sometimes anything.
ఫ్రెండ్ వస్తే చేశాను.
సెటప్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ చేయలేదు కదా సార్.
అందరు వెళ్ళిపోతున్నారు, ఎవరు వచ్చేవాళ్ళు లేరు ఇంట్లో.
Okay, I'll show you another photo that I like. Let's talk about this. Rajamandri, yes, this is Rajamandri. Poles opposite lifestyle of two men. Yeah, corruption. Yeah. Give me more responses on this. I think you can find a lot of interpretations for this. Political person meeting. Yeah. Rich people consider themselves above the poor. That's very interesting. Disillusionment. Okay. Lines are pointing towards subject. Yeah. Politicians don't listen for poor people. Yes. Portrayal of life led by two different people. Yeah. Images on every gate. Oh yeah, I want you guys to see that his image is on every gate of the bridge. That's a good observation. Why is this photo everywhere? He's showing himself as pillars of development. Oh, that's a good interpretation. That's very interesting. Rich become richer, poor remain poor in today's democracy. That's very true. Politician and voter. Yeah, that's a good interpretation. Politician fake smile, common man natural real smile. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so if it was the same image and if there was no politician if there was no banner of the politician in the background, do you think it would have had the same impact? No, right? I mean, it's just an image of a man. But only when you juxtapose it with something else, you find comparisons, you find similarities, you find contrast, you find differences, you find all these different things. And that must be the goal of street photography, to make tons of different meanings of the same image. Okay, let's talk about this now. Monk correcting our mistakes. Monk who sold his Ferrari. Monks using modern technology. Yes. Look at the shoes, the watch. Modern monk, the monk who sold his Ferrari and bought Innova. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good title for the photograph. Monks away from the world. Yeah, that's right. That's true. Okay, so now let's talk about body of works. Let me just switch on my camera. Yeah. So does anybody know what body of work means? A photographer's body of work. Do you know what it means? No. Okay. Yeah. So when you take just one image and look at it individually, it has a very different impact. But when you have a series of these images and when you look at all of them together as a bigger picture, automatically every image, the value of each image increases. The meaning of each image changes, and the meaning behind all the images together also makes a bigger picture and makes more sense. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, okay? Can you guys see the screen? If you can see this, just say yes, and we'll start talking about it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a project by a photographer called Kishore Krishnamurthy. He's from Hyderabad itself. He's a good friend of mine. So he did this project called 25 SFT, which is 25 square feet. And I'll read out the description for you guys. He says, most of the rooms in a house are larger than 25 square feet. Here are a series of images of people and places whose business operates from less than 25 square feet. The ingenuity of making the most of that area that they work is astonishing sometimes. With India's population density, it becomes important to maximize value from every square foot. Now the project is titled 25 SFT, right? That's 25 square feet. Now let's look at all the images one by one. I'll just quickly go through the images, okay? So these are images of businesses who operate under 25 square feet of area. I'll give you the links to this so you can check it later. So what my point was if you look at this image individually, one second, sorry. Yeah, if you look at these images individually, like if you saw this image, it wouldn't mean a lot, right? It would just mean that it's an image of, a music instrument seller in his store. But when you put a meaning behind the series of images, and when you put a title to it, and when you add a description, when you add a meaning to it, when you say that these are images of shops and operating under 25 square feet, when you look at all of them together, they start to make more sense, right? Then you attach a bigger meaning to it. You understand why that image is like that. You understand why what's happening is happening there. And then you make a bigger meaning out of it. So this is what is like This is like a series of images. And most of us, what we do, we just take one image and we just leave it there, you know. But in street photography and in street photography documentation, when it's a series, it makes more sense. It's like watching just one shot of a movie versus watching the whole movie, right? So if your goal is to make meaningful images, I think you must really look at creating series of images. Now let me show you another example from the same person, which is another project. Can you guys hear me? Just unmute and say yes if you guys can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, you are.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Can you guys read the description here, which is on the right, or is it too small?
Yes, sir. We can read it.
Okay. So I'll still explain. So if you remember during the lockdown, okay, there were ration shops, right? And there were circles drawn outside the ration shops. And they had to stand in the circles and wait in the sun in order to get their rice or whatever ration that they received. So what usually happened in these places is they put one of their objects, like let it be shoes or kerchiefs or chappal, whatever, they placed it in those circles in order to reserve the spot. And this is a series of images of different people putting different things. Okay, here in this image you can see somebody has put his slippers over there. You can see somebody who put a rock. Somebody put a bottle and a cover. Whatever bag this is. Another bag, brick. Paper plate. Another brick and a cover. 2 rocks. 1 rock and a leaf. So if you had seen just the first image individually, it would be meaningful, but not very impactful, right? But now when you look at the series of images of different people doing different things, the impact is much higher. So that is what I meant when I said having a series of images and bodies of work. In the long run, it just creates a bigger meaning. If you just want to, I mean, it's a personal choice. If you just want to take one image and leave it there, sometimes you do that also. But I suggest you also try
Hello, sir.
creating series of images. Let it be anything. Can be like anything, literally anything. Let me give you another example. Okay. Can you guys see this? Just say yes if you can see this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want you guys to see this.
వచ్చింది వచ్చింది ఓకే ఓకే
These are very common household items, right? This is just a glass. This is just another vessel or something. This is just some object in their house. This is just 2 glasses. This is just a regular window. This is just a regular spoon. It's just a regular sugar box. And these are just very regular decor stuff in the house, right? Just a regular music player. right? There's nothing special about it, right? It's just pretty normal. But when you write a description to it, when you explain, when you talk about why this series of pictures is there the way it is, it makes sense. It makes more sense. Now I want you guys to read. Can you guys read this? If you guys can read this, just
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Just read it. Just read the description of what he said.
Please attend your talk. I will wait for some time. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. కానీ ఇప్పుడు మరి మీరు ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ మారాలంటే మళ్ళీ సొల్యూషన్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ వేరే పెడతారా? ఇక్కడ నాకు అదొకటి డౌట్ అనిపిస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎక్కడ అదే నేను ఎక్కడ పెట్టాను దాన్ని మర్చిపోయాను. మళ్ళీ లాస్ట్ గారు ఆప్టిమేటిక్స్ కదా, సెట్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ కదా, అక్కడికి రైట్ క్లిక్ చేయాలి కదా. అది 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 ఎట్లా వచ్చింది నేను మర్చిపోయాను. యాడ్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళాను, ఆప్టిమేటిక్స్ పెట్టి అవును ఓకే. మళ్ళీ పోయింది ఏంటి, మళ్ళీ నేను పెట్టాను.
Now that you read it, does it make more sense? Just type in the comments.
మళ్ళీ పోతుంది, క్లిక్ చేయగానే ఇదంతా పోతుంది. కాదు, నేను అక్కడికే క్లిక్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ లాస్ట్ అడ్డు పెట్టాను.
Now I want to take you through quickly, very quickly. I'll take you through one of my favorite street photographers.
ఇప్పుడు నేను మామూలుగా ఇది ఒక సెటప్ అనేసాను కదా, సెటప్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ అనేసాను.
His name is Vineet Vora.
చేశాను. ఎందుకంటే అది ఏదో ఏదో ఒక ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ దగ్గర దాన్ని జీరో చేస్తామని నాకు ఆయన అంత తొందరగా చేసేస్తాం. పెట్టండి అనేది వస్తుంది.
Can you guys see this? It's the pattern, right? It's the pattern on the cow, it's the pattern in the background. All of it together makes it damn interesting, right?
200 zero cost.
Now let's look at this. How birds just emerge out of his head. He's drawing a similarity between the kid and the toy. And here you can see again he's drawing similarities between two subjects. He's running here, also the girl here is running. Similarity. Here he's trying to blend the dog into the image. The spots on the bus and the spot on the dog. Yeah, does it make sense? Here, this is a visual. It's a composition-based visual. He composed it in such a way that it looks like the juxtaposition of it looks like, you know, he is drinking it from the tree.
ప్రీవియస్ స్టెప్ 0.4 కి 6.1 తీసుకుంది. మనం సిమ్యులేషన్ డిస్క్రీట్ తో చేయొచ్చు కదా, నాట్ ఎన్ ఇష్యూ కదా. నేను డిస్క్రీట్ తో సిమ్యులేషన్ చేయొచ్చు కదా.
Yeah, check this out. What do you guys think about this image?
There's a duck on the animal also.
The pattern on the goat, I think.
Right. Correct. So street photography is also about finding these interesting visual elements, you know, and finding similarities, balances, and stuff. Now let's take a look at this. I really love this. I love this image.
The slippers and the
Yeah, slippers and this, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
మళ్ళీ డాట్
This also. How the dog has what do you call it? Haldi on itself.
స్క్రీన్ అంటే టేబుల్ అంటే 200 జీరో వస్తుంది ఎవాల్యుయేషన్. వేరే వాల్యూ 200 కాకుండా ఇంకేదో వాల్యూ.
What do you guys think of this image? He found a similarity between the tap and the beak. And just imagine how keen he has to be to even observe something like this on the street. Here again, this is a great observation, right?
పబ్లిక్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ డేటా.
Again, finding similarities between subjects. And this is not even staged, okay? Like he actually finds them and gets them. It's not like he stages them or anything like that.
రైట్ క్లిక్ ఒక
Again, see shadow play. You're doing Hindu rituals, but there is a cross over
And the
here.
Christian rings.
Right. That's correct. So yeah, his name is Vineet Vora. You guys try following him or something on Instagram. You'll find similar photographers also. A lot of them. You can just go through their pages and just try to think about like how they even thought about creating that image, like what made them do it, like how did they observe it, what are the observations that they're doing, and you know, all this. Just try to break these images down. Why did he do it that way? How did he even find it? You know, all these kind of things. But one thing that I want you guys to take seriously is today, after the session, not today but whenever you guys are free, really think about creating a body of work, like a series of pictures. Could be anything. It could be like could be just anything. It could be just objects in your house, but try attaching a meaning to it. It has to be interconnected with each other. I'm not saying click random pictures. I'm saying try to find a meaning to connect these images together. What combines them? What unites these images? Just think about it. Make observations. Like these images you can just shoot on your phone also. Just purely observation, and you know, it's your spontaneity and how you can make what you can make from what objects you have in front of you, and how you develop a meaning out of it. That is the primary goal of, I believe at least, is of street photography. it's a subjective opinion, but at least to me, it is what it is. And yeah, like if you guys have any more doubts, just write it down in the comments. I'll respond. I'll answer the questions. If you have any doubts or any more questions, observations, just write it down. How do photographers click those photos so instantaneously? Yeah, I mean, it's firstly it's not easy. You have to wait. You have to find something. You have to anticipate that this will happen here. There's a probability of this happening here, so let me wait here. So it's really your patience, observations, and anticipation. If you ask me. But once you start doing it, I think you get a hang of it. You try to once you start doing it, I think you'll. It's everybody's process is different, so I think you'll figure out your own as you go by.
ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ దగ్గర పడుతుంది సార్ 6 to 5 5.5 డిస్క్రీట్ స్టెప్స్ పెట్టారు అన్ని చేసుకుంటూ పోతుంది.
Any more questions? Just put it down in the comments, in the chat. I mean, sorry, I'm saying comments. Put it in the chat. I'll answer questions. Or if you want to unmute yourself and answer questions, we can do that.
అయితే నేను డిస్క్రీట్ పెట్టడం కరెక్టే అది నేను అన్ని ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్ ప్రతి పాయింట్ దగ్గర క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకుంటాను.
These photos were taken like he found something on the street, or he intently goes out from the street to take these photos?
No. Vineet is a street photographer. Also, he is the ambassador for Leica. Okay, so primarily his job is to like really go out and take these images. So I think his process, he goes out looking for these images, and then he gets them. He anticipates them and gets them. It's not like randomly he gets it. It's his process. He goes out for the photos. Any more questions regarding just anything related to photo, not necessarily street photography, anything related to filmmaking or cinematography, or some doubts that you have from the last 2 days, from the last 2 sessions? Any technical doubts also, you can just ask me. Tips for using Lightroom. I think it's a pretty easy software actually, Lightroom. What tips can I give you? Just shoot an image, put it in Lightroom, and just experiment with it. There's tons of content on YouTube and the internet. There's a lot of tutorials and everything. You can just go through some of them and understand the functions and everything, controls and all. Okay, Vamshi asks, what exactly is cinematography? So cinematography is, how can I tell you? It's more like street photographer, like more street photographer. Yeah, I'll come to that. I'll come to more street photographers. I'll give you a list of them. So cinematography is what, like it's moving image, right? You play with composition, light, shadow, and create the kind of images that you want to, how they're supposed to feel. It's just composition, light, textures, and elements in the frame. How do you get cinematic look for your films? Just what do you mean by cinematic look? If you can just elaborate on that, I'll be specific about it. Kuman Aryan said, I found it very complicated. Lightroom, you mean, right? It looks pretty complicated at first, but once you start understanding the controls and everything, trust me, once you start working on it, it's damn simple. It's a very, very simple software. It just looks like looks scary, like a lot of controls and everything, but it's pretty simple. It's very simple. Trust me. Can't we record a video instead of clicking a photo and choose the best frame for the right moment? Yeah, that's actually a good. That's actually a very good way to do it. Actually, you can just record video and just take a screen grab and just put it. Yeah, I mean now all our phones record 4K, right? So taking a grab, a 4K grab is still good resolution. It's not bad resolution. So you can of course do that. Shoot 4K video, find the best moment and take a screen grab from it. It still work. It's easy way, best way. How is cinematography different from editing? Cinematography is shooting the image. It's the process of shooting it. Editing comes later. Editing is after you shoot, you put the shots together and make meaning or make a scene out of it. That is editing. Cinematography is the shooting process. Which camera do you use for filmmaking? So right now I work with cinema cameras only, like Alexa or Red or Blackmagic is what I use. But apart from that, for like my still photography and everything, I use a Sony A6500. It's like a 4 year old camera. I still use it for still photography. Your Instagram pictures are less but appealing. Thank you. Thanks, Rupesh. By the way, guys, my Instagram is. I'm just putting it in the chat. That's my Instagram. Alternative for gimbal, if any. You can. Dave Nickel asked alternative for a gimbal. You can check. Flycam. So basically, it's like a small Steadicam. Just Google it. You'll find it. Just search for mini Steadicam. You'll find it. And there's a lot of other stabilizing options also, like for DSLRs and stuff. You can just, I think you'll find it. Just search for mini Steadicam. I have Vivo V17. Can I click awesome pictures from them? Yeah, of course you can. I mean, that's a good phone. Use the pro mode on it. Don't go for the manual mode. You'll have more control in the pro mode, in the pro camera mode. So you can shoot exactly how you want. You can get what you want exactly. And just one tip: if you're shooting pictures on your phone, you can edit them on Lightroom Mobile, which is a pretty good software. You can also use Snapseed, or if you want something much easier, you can use VSCO. It's pretty good. Okay, so someone asked me most street photographers like Vineet Vora. If you're interested, you can just email me. I'll just send, or let's just DM me on Instagram. I'll send you a bunch of different street photographers that I follow and I like. If you want to DM me if your doubts and stuff, you can just DM me on Instagram. Want to DM me your doubts later. I have Samsung Galaxy J6. Can I look? Yeah, any phone. I think if you just find the right light and find the right composition for it, I think any phone will do a good job. Like even use like a iPhone 3 or iPhone 4, whatever. Use any old phone, they'll still do a good job. I have OnePlus 7T. Is it good for best? Yeah, 7T is a great phone. I really like the camera on it. It's a good phone. It's a great phone actually. You can click great pictures. Any camera, I'll tell you, it's just the light and the composition which will make it interesting. Any more questions or doubts? Do you have any technical doubts from the last 2 days? Namrat, are you here?
Yeah, bro, I'm here.
Yeah.
Am I
okay.
audible? Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
So guys, today let's if you want to have like an assignment or something, try this. Try finding interesting elements. Try putting the elements together. Try making a meaning out of it. Also, try making a series of images sometimes. So attach meaning to it. I can't able to shoot star effect in pictures from. What is Kumar? Just can you just explain what star effect you're talking about? You can also unmute yourselves, guys, and talk and ask questions.
నేను ఇంకా కొంచెం ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ కూడా తీసుకోవాలి సిఎస్టీ అదే కానీ ఈ వెబ్సైట్ ఇక్కడ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్స్ ఏమున్నాయి mdda.com/media.cst.html ఉంది దాని ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ఏముంది
Sun rays are in star pattern. Okay, so I think you're talking about the lens flare, right? So you get that star pattern when the aperture is high. For example, if the aperture is like 8 or 11, you get that star effect. I mean, it's called lens flare technically, but your aperture needs to be like 8 or 11 or more than that to get that effect. How good is an iPhone 6 for taking pictures? Lakshmi asks. I actually still use an iPhone 6, not even 6s, 6 for taking pictures, and I think it's a really good phone still. I'll show you some pictures that I shot on iPhone 6. Okay.
186.147
Yeah, this is iPhone 6. This is iPhone 6. This is also shot on an iPhone 6.
ఆ డాక్యుమెంట్ లో ఉన్నది ఇవన్నీ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఒకసారి నాకు ఫార్వర్డ్ చేయండి ఏడి మీకు వచ్చింది AD_SW కి
This is well shot on iPhone
ఒకసారి
6.
కనిపిస్తే ఒకసారి కనిపించు
So it doesn't really matter which camera you're using. It's just the composition, the light, and the colors and frame. Which will make it good.
నేను అది ఓపెన్ చేయనప్పుడు నేను ఓపెన్ చేశానంటే నాకు అక్కడ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ అవుతుంది వేరే యూట్యూబ్ స్ట్రీమ్
I love the colors here. This image.
అదే అదే కానీ దీనికి కూడా ఏంటంటే నేను ఇప్పుడు ఈ హెచ్ఎఫ్ఎస్ఎస్ ఫైల్ మళ్ళీ సిఎస్టీలోకి మార్చాలి అదొక స్టెప్ నేను నేర్చుకోవాల్సింది మారిస్తేనే నేను వీడియో సింగల్ దానికి 2 స్టెప్లు ఇచ్చాడు కదా మార్చుకోవడం కూడా
Any more questions? Feel free to ask. We have 5 minutes left. So
అదే
AJ, someone from YouTube wants to know what is the best show on photography that they can watch.
సిఎస్టీలో మనకు అర్థమవుతుందంటే సిఎస్టీలోకి ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ చేద్దాం
what is the best?
Best show or series that they can watch based on photography, if you have any idea.
Based on photography.
Yeah.
Well, there is a documentary. It's called Salt of the Earth.
Okay.
Just, I think it's on Netflix. It's called Salt of the Earth. It's about, it's a documentary about, if you heard about Salgado, the photographer, Sebastio Salgado. It's basically about his work and the life of his. It's called Salt of the Earth. It's 2014 film.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
1.5 2-hour documentary.
It's a 2-hour documentary. It's brilliant. It's amazing. Just watch it. It's amazing.
I think the YouTube people are really inactive today. So
M. Rupesh, a recent picture of two children making this plane is too good and relatable. Thanks, Rupesh. Actually, that is from Rupesh is talking about this picture. It's actually from a advertisement that I shot for 24 Month Organic. It's like a
క్లోజ్
screenshot from it.
చేద్దామంటారు అప్పుడు క్లోజ్ చేసేయాలి అది
That is shot on
పెద్దగా ఎవరు
like a
లేరు
cinema
దీంట్లో ఒక
camera.
40 మందే
It's a
ఉన్నారు.
Black Magic pocket cinema camera. Anything else, or can we close, Namrat?
yeah, if we do not have any questions, we are good to end the session for today because we are on
Yeah,
perfect time.
Tejas who asked a question: which software do you use for editing videos? I use Premiere Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. These are the two primary softwares that I use.
If anyone else has any questions, you guys can unmute and answer because I think the time is also up and people are even leaving the session. So, any last questions? How thickness of lens affect photography or okay?
Thickness of lens. What do you can you be a little more specific about thickness of lens?
I think what he meant was the number of lens elements in a particular lens which you are using.
I mean, like most lenses have a very similar number of lens elements in it, and I mean, of course, there will be a textural difference, but it shouldn't affect photography in any way. I mean, I don't think it's a huge issue. Oh, you mean 400mm, 600mm? Okay, so you mean like super telephoto lenses? So these are mainly used for like astrophotography or like for wildlife and stuff. So if you want to like stay super far away from the subject and shoot it, you use these lenses. And the problem with these lenses is you need a monopod for the lens to balance the lens, because at 400, 600mm, it's like the lens is constantly, even the smallest of breeze can change, can like shake the camera, shake the lens, because it's like a 400mm magnification. My phone has 2.45 aperture. Shall flare be share? Yeah, it can be seen. If there is a pro mode where you can manually adjust the aperture, and if you shift the aperture to like 8 or 11 or something, then you'll of course see that star flare which you were talking about. Namrat, someone is asking IG of profile you presented here before yours.
I think he was asking about the street photographers IG which you have mentioned earlier.
Okay. I'll just open his profile here. Vineet_Bora. Okay, guys. So let's close it here. I hope you learned something from this session, and I hope you somehow make use of this session and improve your skills in street photography, as particular if you're interested in it.
హెచ్ఎఫ్ఎస్ వేసేద్దాం.
And yeah, good luck, all of you guys. It was a good time. Namrat, anything you have to say?
That's it. We are good to go now. And thank you guys for staying connected. And we'll see you guys tomorrow with something else. Okay. If you have any last questions, you can answer it right now. Okay. Thank you. I think AJ, everyone is thanking you.
Thank
They're
you.
really happy.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me here, actually. And if you guys have any like questions, doubts, you can like send me a message on Instagram anytime. I'll respond to each one of you. So no worries about that.
Yes, AJ. So I think we're good to go now. Okay, people, take care, and I'll see you guys at 3 o'clock tomorrow, 3:15 tomorrow with another topic. Let's see. Bye bye.
See you guys. Bye.
ఇక్కడ అంతే ఇది కరెక్టేనా? ఒక్క నిమిషం నేను మీటింగ్ క్లోజ్ చేసేస్తాను. అదే ఇది అయిపోయింది.